So why did we build this company and why we have spent the last 7 years building the solution is, if you look at the dynamics in global higher education system, the number of students have almost doubled up, or far more numbers rather. In India, if you see, like there are, I think, 10 more universities coming up in Uttar Pradesh. There are, I think, several more universities have been sent letter of intent in Telangana. So there are a lot of new education institutions that have started coming up, which is the second thing. And third, the kind of complexity in education is changing. So we are not providing the same old straight-jacketed programs where a student comes, studies 5 or 6 subjects a semester, passes 8 semesters, and is done with the BTech program. So there is far more complexity, like dual degree programs, industry immersion, project-based learning, choice-based credit system, and so many different things that have come up. And all this is, on top of this, there's a lot of digital compliance. So AICTE makes it mandatory for you to have an online grievance redressal system, and you to have a report on each and every grievance that's there in the campus. It's compulsory for all the engineering students to do a internship now, and you must have a record and a complete details of those internships, faculty assessments, and several new things and several new initiatives like SWAYAM and others having come into the ecosystem. All this results in far more complexity, compliance, as well as competition in the higher education landscape. Globally, especially the US, they are leveraging technology beautifully to address this new landscape, which is complex, competitive, and with more compliance. In India, what we traditionally do is we take an ERP, which is nothing but a digital record system. So whether it's your student records, accounting, payroll, attendance, examinations, we end up having what was there on registers and paper gets converted into screens on a mobile or a website. But what these systems don't do is they don't support administrators, faculty members, and other stakeholders in things like how do they interact with each other, how peer learning is happening inside campuses, how do you digitize smaller but more frequent workflows, and how does all this get converted into data-based analytics for you to take better decisions. All these things are either happening physically, where people are going to each other, talking to each other, or you're using informal channels like WhatsApp. So every single classroom of yours would have a WhatsApp group, because they don't have any other formal channel in the campus to interact with each other or share information. And that's where, I'll skip that. So that's where we come in. So CollPoll provides you a mobile as well as website-based complete management, engagement, and analytics platform, which is scalable. You don't have to invest a single rupee in infrastructure. And it's very simple. So anybody who's using email or a WhatsApp will be able to use this platform as well. So CollPoll as a whole enterprise stack comes with 4 different layers. So we also provide you the traditional ERP. On top of it, we provide you academic management and learning management system, which is what we were talking about, how attendance can be digitized and how we can have less time being consumed in doing examination administration and other things. We digitize campus workflows, which is what I would want to talk more about today, and how do we bring in collaboration and engagement platform in the campus, whether it is events, feedback, notices, and several different activities in the campus. So we end up touching every single part of your institution, whether it is alumni, whether it is your academics, finance, IT, research, and all the different areas. The idea is that the day a student comes to you for an inquiry, so how do you start engaging them? The day they have taken admission and before they physically join your campus, there is a gap in that period. How do you pause in a very proactive way, engage with them to retain the best students? The day they are there on the campus, there is a huge amount of anxiety. So how do you give them access to campus maps? How do you give them access to anti-ragging helplines? How do you provide them real-time support with chatbots so that they feel like home when they come into your campus? And then supporting them in academics, extracurriculars, campus life, and finally, when they graduate to start their careers, how do you continue to be in touch with them? So quickly, on a traditional ERP, we have everything which is a traditional ERP would have, which is your admissions, fees, and others. Similarly in academics, providing you everything on curriculum to e-portfolio to online quizzes and all the new technologies that you can have for academics. Providing a very strong collaboration engagement platform from managing campus events to clubs and chapters, online communities, direct messaging, search engine, and all of those things. We integrate, so CollPoll comes with an integration with almost every single product. So whether you want banking solutions to be integrated, payment gateways, assessment solutions, online examination solutions, all of those can be integrated with the CollPoll platform. But today, what I want to specifically talk about in the next 2-3 minutes is Campus Help Center. And what does it do? Why have we built this product? So Campus Help Center will automate 1,000+ different workflows in your campus, which we are already doing at some of the topmost universities in the country. So any request, application, grievance, booking, clearance will get converted into an online process. And why this is important, is because one, you want a transparency in the system, you want more accountability, and you want to capture productivity and efficiency of each and every department in the campus. And we'll talk more about. So how does it work? You get to automate any single workflow based on your requirements. So CollPoll comes with an engine-based approach, which means nothing is rigid. It completely adapts to your requirements. So how your departments work, which services come under how, so you will be able to completely customize that based on your requirements. So what kind of workflows will you be able to automate? Hostels, no dues, venue bookings, IT help desk, transportation, visitor management, event approvals, examination help desk, academic help desk in the departments, all of these. How does it work? You get to list all your services, and once I click on a service, I get a request form. I fill that form based on whatever is the requirement. As soon as I can track all my requests, each and every department gets to see their work, and if the work is not done under the time that's allocated for it, these things get escalated. So you get multi-level escalations there. And once there is a real-time chatting support between the administrators and the requester. So let's say I'm a student who I'm raising a request for a re-evaluation or a paper seeing, and there is something the controller of examination wants to talk to the student. You don't need to go there. You don't need to call. You don't need to write separate emails. You can have those communication right here itself. Administrators get to track all their pending, escalated, and completed work requests. The request, and you can track, you can take actions here. So the idea behind this whole thing is that you will be able to reduce a lot of administrative costs in the campus, because right now you don't know which departments are overstaffed, which departments are understaffed, which departments are actually low in performance, where are the bottlenecks created in the campus. And finally, you become very, very attrition proof, because in almost all the education institutions, at a lower and middle managerial staff, there's a huge attrition rate always. With moving away from people-driven to more process-driven approach, all your workflows are now completely, standardized. So whenever there is a new person joining in, there's hardly a loss of productivity. They know what are the workflows, they just log in and start working on whatever different activities are happening. So we work with some of the best universities in the country as well as abroad. We work with institutions in Dubai, Malaysia, Australia, and Africa as well. And we work with about 3 or 4 institutions of eminence in the country right now, where they've seen the power of technology in automating the complete operations in the campus. And finally, what we call as the CollPoll effect. The aim is you have far better stakeholder satisfaction, whether it is your students, whether it is your faculty members, administrative staff, parents, all of them. The students are wasting less amount of time in non-teaching, non-learning activities, so you're not making them run around for very petty matters, and a lot of their time is getting saved there. You're able to reduce your costs. So there are some areas in campus, like for example, how you canteen services or hostel automation, where we've been able to reduce the cost by almost 50% at some of our client institutions. Better resource utilization. So at the moment, you don't even know what kind of resource utilization is happening in your campus. Again, with automation, you have complete analytics, which departments, what services are being used. There's a far more stronger brand recognition, because today's generation that's coming to your campus is a generation which is very, very digitally empowered. They are using WhatsApp, Facebook, Uber, Ola, and so many different technologies. So they're very used to using mobile apps and technologies to get their work done. Again, like I said, it's a fully integrated campus solution. I was just talking about one part of the CollPoll, which is workflow automation. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for your time.